So, I've been messing around with this bad boy for a little bit now, and I realize I've been calling this a piano. It's not a piano, it's a guitar. A man's rifle. You know? Right? Like, this is a man's rifle. This is a weapon, a tool. The instrumental for not only, but a master fool. This thing is a piece of art. I have never touched any instruments without only doing it myself. I've never had anybody in my life teach me or show me instruments. I would always find an instrument on my own time and just play it. No one's ever taught me anything besides me teaching myself. You know, me playing drums, I became good at it because I was obsessive over it when I was a child, and I would play drums because it was that satisfying noise. You know, that satisfaction of sound. I just became in love with it, and making a motion and a tone and a rhythm was how I just went with it. And drums are a unique way. It might look easy, but it's not. There's certain techniques to go with it. Just like the guitar and the piano. Now, the piano and guitar, they're kind of similar in a way, but opposite from each other. A piano, you hold down the key to keep the noise going. This is the opposite. You hold it to cut down the noise, right? You know? And I've been kind of messing with this for a little bit now. It's so cool how I'm teaching myself, because it's just, it makes that own iconic noise I can make. You know, I find different techniques, different rhythms, different motions, and I've been kind of singing here and there. I'm working on a country voice, a western voice, an accent. I'm kind of working on that. You know, I like music. I like music a lot. It's very nice. That's not even country. But I like music. I can't. It's work in progress. I've been busy. But, you know, yeah. So I've been kind of finding techniques. So, I don't really know. I'm trying, you know. You guys are kind of up high here. Let me lower you down. There you go. You're looking good now. All right, but yeah, it's fun. I love this thing. You know, it all looks easy when people do it, but when you get into it, it's not that easy. But when you focus on yourself and the instrument on your own time, and don't focus on the judgment or what people, or what you're trying to do, what they do, don't be them, be you, right? Do it your own way. And that's the perfect way, because that's the only way. You can only be you. You can't do what they do, unless it makes some tone you copy. You see, the thing is, doing a rhythm and doing a motion that other people can do is kind of something you already know. That's why learning it yourself is something always different. And it's something new even for yourself and even other people you can teach. That's what makes other people do it, or they copy each other, I guess. That makes sense. You know, there's so much about me. There are so many videos out there about me, just very unique and interesting. Who thought that I'd be playing instruments on a camera? Not me. You know, it's weird because when I was a little kid, I was making videos about me just exploring and just talking commentary, just random videos into gaming videos, now into these vlogs. Now I'm sitting down with unique dress code and a news cap. Who would have thought how classic and retro I would be playing piano? Handheld piano. I call this a piano with 6 strings, even though piano has 88 keys. There's nothing different. I look at the piano and guitar such in a similar way, because realistically you're blending noise. That is what you're doing with but it's different material, and that's the difference. You know, this is strings, and there's different... Strings have a different noise than keys, you know, obviously. And then you are your own instrument, right? Your own voice. Your own voice can be something else. That was terrible. That was not good, but I'm working on it. I've been working on my voice a ton. I've been even trying to get it deep as possible. You really gotta tune in. Tune in. That was smooth. But there's just so much to music, you know? That's why I love music. I would love to go big for music, you know? Because I've always wanted to be big and famous in life. You know, because I can keep making money and just supporting myself to do the same thing over and over because it's so satisfying. I call it heaven on earth, and I call that music. I'm not good at this. I don't care. I'm not judge-worthy. I'm not being negative with self-hatred or self-negativity. Usually I tease myself and bully myself. But recently when I've been playing different instruments, I've been happy with myself, you know, and that's usually something that I don't do. But usually, if, for instance, I'm playing this, and I'm not good at this. I'm very aware of that. But I'm not going, oh, I suck. Not in a negative way. I'll tease myself here and there, but in a very positive, funny, humoristic way. Is that even a word? Is that even a word? Humoristic? I'll call it humor. But, you know, I'm so positive about it, right? You know, I never thought... when I was younger, I looked at instruments. Because I played different instruments. I played trumpet once, put my mouth on that sucker, and I went, it was disgusting. I couldn't stand it. I was like, how do you people do that? You know, I was so dramatic and chaotic for no reason. Thank you, Snapchat, for bugging in. Snapchat. You should snap this. That was terrible. You should snap this. Ooh, baby, I've been making music about you and me. Let's see. I'm trying to sing all these songs for you, baby. That's terrible. Okay, but in a funny way. In a terrible, 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 terrible place, the world is a new waste. Yes, it is. I'm actually working on a lot of music right now, behind the scenes. I have a lot of, just self-lyrics I've made for myself, just to be self-relatable with myself. You know, but then I like to put those out there in a way, because other people can relate to those, because we all can relate to each other, but in different ways, with different meanings. That's why music is a calling, not only for us and God, but for so many people. Like, I can picture myself on stage just doing exactly what I'm doing right now, you know, talking to people, and that's the thing, music is talking, okay? You're just putting your voice in a different rhythm, like, hi, can I get the soda? Hey, can I get the soda? You know, like, it's a tone and a rhythm and kind of pace and motion you're putting your voice in. You're talking, but you're bending your words, right? You're bending your words. Like, hi, how's it going? Hi, how's it going? You know, like, that's what music is. You're bending your words. You're dragging your words. Dragging your voice. Like, can. Like, hello. Like, hello. You know, like, that's, you're stretching the words. You're bending the words. You know, and that's what music is, in my opinion. But the piano and guitar, it's in a way of blending the noise. Guitar is different, but in ways, it's so similar. Because it's all music.